Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Temple Beth Israel and Shabbat. As we enter Shabbat, take a moment to bless those who watch this service with you, those in your mind who you would reach out to after the service to share Shabbat. And now, those of you who light candles at home to welcome Shabbat, please welcome them. And please light them and remember. Shamor, to guard Shabbat. Zachor, to remember. And that is each of the candles, as you light them, you say Shamor and Zachor. And then you recite the blessing. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu lehadlik ner Shel Shabbat. heart's delight, source of mercy, draw your servant into your arms. I leap like a deer to stand in awe before you. Now we welcome Shabbat Bride. La 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 le la 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 le la la peace, O crown of your husband. Enter in gladness, enter in joy. Come to the people that keeps its faith. Enter, O bride, Boi Kala, Boi Kala. Now the Chatzi Kaddish, which divides our service, it takes the opening section and separates us as we get ready to enter fully into prayer. Yitgadal v'yitgadash shemei rabba be'omad yivrach teviam lich malchutei b'chayechon u'vyomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael Ba'agala, ba'agala, uvizman kariv, v'imiru, amen. Yehesh me'urabba mevarach, la'olam ulol me'almaya, yitbarach, yitbarach, v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar, v'yitramam, v'yitnaseh, V'yet hadar, v'yet alev, v'yet alal, shemei dekudesha, barichu. Le'elam in kol birchata v'shirata, tushbichata v'nechemata, da'amiran be'alma, v'emiru, amen. Even if you're home alone, the Baruch Hu is the call to worship. And even if you respond in the yellow sections, sing loud. We read together, Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma poteach she'arim, uvitvuna mishane itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umsader et hakochavim, b'mishmerotehem barakir kirtzono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or. Uma'avir yom u'mevi layla, umavdil bein yom uvein layla, Adonai tzvaot shemo. El chai v'kayam tamid yimloch aleinu le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Blessed are you, Adonai, who brings on the evening. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Baruch Shem Yevod Malchuto Lamed. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha b'chol levavcha u'v'chol nafshecha u'v'chol me'odecha v'hayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavcha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta baham b'shivtecha b'veitecha uvlechtecha v'aderech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam le'ot al yedecha v'hayu letotafot ben einecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha lema'an tizkeru va'asitem et kol mitzvotai v'hitem kedoshim le'Elohechem. Ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim lehiot lachem le'Elohim. Ani Adonai Elohechem. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go, it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together. Kifat Adonai et Yah Now we continue with Hatfilah, the Shemona Esrei, the 18 benedictions. Adonai, Sifatai Tiftach, Ufi Agiti Latecha. Adonai, open up my lips, that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu v'Elohei Avotenu v'Imotenu, Elohei Avraham, Elohei Yitzchak, v'Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rachel, v'Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagadol, Hagibur v'Hanorah, El Elyon, Gomer Chasvadim Tovim, V'Koneh HaKol, V'Zocher Chasdei Avot v'Imahot, U'Mevi Geula Livnei V'Nehem, L'Ma'an Shemo Be'ahava, Melech Ozer U'Moshia U'Magen, Baruch atah Adonai, Magen Avraham, Ve'ezrat Sarah. Atah Gibor le'olam Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol atah Rav leHoshia, Mechakel Chayim B'Chesed, Mechayeh HaKol B'Rachamim Rabim, Zomech Novlim V'Rofei Cholim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayim Emunato, Lishenei Apar, Michamocha Ba'al Givurot, Umido Melach, Melech Memit Umechayeh, Umatzmeach Yeshua, V'ne'eman Atala HaChayot HaKol, Baruch atah Adonai, Mechayeh HaKol. Atah Kadosh v'Shimcha Kadosh, U'Kdoshim b'chol Yom Yahalelucha Selah. Baruch atah Adonai, Ha'el HaKadosh. You are holy, your name is holy. And those who are holy praise you every day. Blessed are you, Adonai, the holy God. We continue in silence. Now we take a moment, as we do at every service, to offer our prayer of healing for those in need of healing, be it physical, spiritual, or emotional. Times are challenging for all of us, and many of us are in need. And so we take just a moment. Mishaberach Avotenu Mikor HaBracha Le'imotenu. May the source of strength who blessed the ones before us help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing. Let us say Amen. Mishaberach Imotenu Mikor HaBracha La'avotenu. Bless those in need of healing with Refuah Shlema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, as together we all say Amen. We are almost at the end of the first part of our journey. We are at Genesis 44. We are at the next to last portion of the book of Genesis, where Joseph meets his brothers again. The parashah is the penultimate portion of the book. We conclude the first of the 5 books next week, incredibly interestingly on New Year's Day, as our travels through time is marked by a new calendar, new challenges, and new decisions. It also allows us many joys as well, of family, of friendships, of community. And although those relationships are requiring a little finessing these days, that will change. As we know, everything will. And the one thing that this week's portion shows us more than anything is that change is not only inevitable, but constant. Joseph, overcoming the story that we all do know. His brothers hated him, they threw him in the pit, they did this, the Joseph, the coat of many colors, all that stuff. But Joseph as a human being evolves throughout the story. He rises ultimately to the side of Pharaoh and becomes a wildly evolved human being. And yet, instead of carrying anger, which would only hold him back, he met the challenges head on, taking advantage of, evidently, every opportunity and situation on his path to redemption. Yeah, to redemption. His brothers try to kill him because of his overarching ego. He's thrown in jail after being tricked by Pharaoh's wife. But by intellect and intuition, he is saved. And he is saved even more importantly by that most useful of biblical devices, dreams. The only difference here is he has the understanding and insight to divine their purpose as opposed to having them himself in the end. They are not, for the most part, his dreams. He is good at divining other people's vision. His story starts with a dream and rises through dreams. By the time he rises to power in Egypt and meets his unknowing brothers, his ego has not only abated, he is a man who simply sees the world in a different way. The story of the 7 cows, related to the 7 years and the crops, is also an answer of great humanity. In fact, he seeks not only to save Egypt, but suggests to Pharaoh that those living in the lands around them can also be saved by the greatness of Pharaoh and the agriculture of Egypt, by forethought and planning. His abilities grown. He now sees suffering of all people as a challenge to be resolved. Joseph the child, Joseph the young man, Joseph the human being of the coat of many colors wouldn't have cared a bit. What can we learn from this story? So much. First, a moment of self-reflection is in order. Does Joseph reflect a bit of who we are? Are we the brothers? Where do we fall on the timeline? At the beginning, everyone is awful. Joseph arrogant, partially as a result of his father's doting on him. The brothers mean-spirited and vengeful, feeling slighted. The father's life wounded by his own favoritism. It comes back to hurt him. A cornucopia of being on the wrong side of emotions. The good news, this is a story of redemption. Look at who they are as human beings by the end. Joseph concerned with the well-being of all, the brothers quite remorseful and changed behaviorally as human beings, now a group that protects each other, prepared to replace each other in jail. Take me, don't take my younger brother, he did nothing. Concerned with each other and fully redeemed. Concerned about the feelings of their aged father, who clearly they had no feelings for when they brought the coat of many colors, coated in blood, and said, "Your beloved Joseph was killed." It didn't occur to them that their father would think, "Why didn't you protect him?" But we know now it's never too late to learn, to change, to reflect, to imagine who we can be and to strive to get there. The baggage we carry with us should instruct us on our way, not be the weight that tosses us off our road. Change is as flowing as the waters of the Jordan River or the Mississippi or Niagara Falls. That part is inevitable. What is not is what we choose to do standing at the precipice of change. As I've said to you many times, we see what we seek. Over this week, as we prepare to change our calendars, to look at time as an arbiter of allowance, a method of allowing us to throw off the impediments of our evolving into ourselves as Josephs, able to hear, understand, and make real the dreams of others as well as ourselves, then indeed we will have evolved as God's plan seems to have wanted and allowed for us. Let us not squander the opportunity, because if Joseph teaches us anything, it is to look for the light when all seems hopelessly dark, and to find the glimmer of light and turn it into an enormous rainbow of possibilities. COVID-19 is a time in our lives. It will pass. The question asked by this week's Torah portion is, who will we be on the other side when the demise of COVID-19 happens? Who will we choose to be? Ken Yehi Ratzon, may this be not only God's will, but our reality. Shabbat Shalom, and a happy secular New Year. Be safe and be smart. We now continue with the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach l'adon ha'kol, latet gedula liotzer bereshit, shelo asanu kigoyei ha'aratzot, v'lo samanu k'mishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkeinu kahem, v'gor aleinu kechol hamonam, va'anachnu korim, u'mishtachavim u'modim, lifnei melech Malachei Hamlachim, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Shehu Noteh Shamayim v'Yosed Aretz, U'Moshav Yekaro B'Shamayim Mima'al, U'Shchina Duzo, B'Gavei Miromim, Hu Eloheinu Ein Od, Emet Malkeinu Efes Ulato, Kakatuv B'Torato, V'yadatayom, V'ashevota El Levavecha, Ki Adonai Hu Elohim, B'Shamayim Mima'al, Ve'al ha'aretz, Mitachat ein od, V'ne'emar, V'haya Adonai, L'melech al kol ha'aretz, Bayom ha'hu, Yeh Adonai echad, U'shemo echad. Thus it has been said, Adonai will be sovereign over all the earth. On that day Adonai will be one and God's name will be one. We pause now as we remember those, the anniversary of whose yahrzeits occurs this week, as we also remember all those taken by the hand of the oppressor, including over 1.5 million children, 1.5 million worlds destroyed during the Holocaust. Yet gadal v'yet kadash shemei rabbah, ve'alma divrach chirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chaye echon v'yom echon, u'v'chaye dechol beit Yisrael, ba'agalah u'bizman kariv, yimeru, Amen. Yehei shmei rabbah mevarach, lo'olam ulal me'al maya, yet barach v'yeshtabach v'yet ba'ar v'yet ramam v'yet naseh, V'yetadar v'yetalev v'yetalal shmei dikutsha b'richu, le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata, tush bechata v'nechemata, da'amiran ba'alma v'yimiru Amen. Yehei shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimiru Amen. Oseh shalom b'mamav, huya aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'yimiru Amen. May the one who creates harmony on high bring peace to us and to all Israel, to which we say, Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. And as always, the magic and mystery of Shabbat, voila, challah. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Hamotzi lechem min haaretz. Amen. Bless our lives, our children and our families. Bless all of those who have lost their way. Bring peace to all who seek a world of beauty. Give blessings, God, to all today. May God bless this house. May God bless your house. Amen. Amen. As we go forward on this Shabbat, may we each be blessed. May we, like Joseph, look at our future, honor our past, make our future all it can be for each of us, for us together, for your home, this home, our Jewish home. May God bless this house. Amen. Shabbat Shalom.